You ask them, I'm going to answer them. It's time for questions and answers. This week I took to social media and I asked everyone out there to send us some questions that I could answer on this week's video, and man, did we get some good ones. Let's dive right in. First question I got was, is there any harm in listening to secular music as a Christian? My answer to this question is simply, it's all about your personal convictions. If there's something in the song that reminds you of your past or who you used to be, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't listen to it. Or if there's some harmful language in it, something that you wouldn't want your grandma to be hearing, or you got to think about this too. Jesus is with you wherever you go. Whatever you hear, he hears. And I would just stay away from certain types of music or any kind of entertainment that would disappoint the Lord. And we're supposed to be holy like he's holy, so I would stay away from things like that, stuff you don't want your grandma to hear. Next question I got was, how can people celebrate and shout at the TV at a sporting event, but come Sunday morning to church and they can't even clap their hands? It's all about priority. If you place sports and other things, entertainment, anything above the Lord, that's what you're going to be into. It's all about passions as well. If you're not passionate about worship, you're not going to be passionate about worship. But if you're passionate about sports and things like that, you're going to be passionate about that. I suggest that we kind of take a back seat and start to understand, what are we worshiping? And it's really that first commandment to me, to worship the Lord your God no matter what. Don't worship the TV, don't worship sports. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't get excited about your sports team or get excited about entertainment. I get excited about entertainment and things like that. But as long as you don't put priority over sports over the Lord, and that's that whole, like I said, that's that whole first commandment thing. It's all about your priorities. Where do you stand when it comes down to priorities and the Lord? Other people also don't worship in that way. Some people raise their hands, some people raise their heads, some people bow their heads and clasp their hands tightly, and they worship God just like you're worshiping God with your hands raised. It doesn't matter. As long as you worship the Lord, as long as the Lord knows your heart, that's what it's all about. And he knows what we worship, whether it's what's on TV or what's in the church. Next question is one of my personal favorites. What happened to the dinosaurs? I can say that honestly, I don't know of anyone that was around to tell us what happened to the dinosaurs, what happened to those creatures. I'm gonna say it has something to do with the flood. Maybe they missed the boat. I don't know. Or maybe they just became extinct after the flood. All I know is there's no more dinosaurs, and I don't know. That's a good enough answer. Yeah. All right, last question I'll answer is, what happens when we try to live our lives right as Christ followers, and the other people out in the world just seem to be so successful and seem to be winning at life and things like that? We live in a society where Christ isn't king. We know he's king, but in our society, Christ isn't king. And on a spiritual level, the devil, Satan, will not go after the ones who he's already got, the ones who's already on his team. He always seems to attack us. And that's why we, in my personal opinion, that's why we have a hard time as far as struggling and fighting through life and doing the best we can for our families. And whether you're a single parent out there, whether you're just single, or whether you have the biggest family in the world, it doesn't matter. You might have all the friends you'll ever want or ever need. If you're a Christ follower, you're going to be under attack. We should expect those attacks. But we also should expect God to come to our defense when we need him. 100%, that's what we need to believe, that he's for us. And if he's for us, who can be against us? That's the scripture today. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video of Q&A. If you have any other questions, I'd love to answer them in the future Q&As that we'll do here at Overflow Church. God bless you. and we'll see you next time. Isn't there like a questions and answers song?